Good morning, everyone, and thank you for stopping in. So since we're waiting for the tune on the 6 liter, that's not until next month, I decided that I'm going to work on the green truck a little bit. There's some things I've been kind of putting off. The four-wheel drive harness is not hooked up, and I really was not looking forward to rolling around the ground putting it back together, but I guess now I have the time to do it, so I need to do it. So we're going to do that. I'm going to drain some of the fuel out of the 6 liter because it's been sitting for like 4 months. So drain it down. I have a bucket or a gas can. We'll put the fuel into the green truck because I'm pretty sure it's bone dry. So we could use some fuel, let the fuel pump soak in the fuel. Hopefully it's not dried out and no good anymore, but we're going to do that. Tinker with that stuff. And at the end of this video, I have a Q&A I said I was going to do. I posted a picture and you guys all commented and everything. So if you want to be a part of the next one, follow my Instagram at endlesswishlist 6.0. Let's get started. So my plan for this is to use the fuel line I have. I'm going to hook it to the feed line on this and then just run it down through here, I guess, into my bucket. I'm going to let the truck run for a bit because it hasn't ran in a couple days, so let the battery charge up, that way we don't drain it. So while it's running, I'll get the fuel line hooked up. Kind of like this. All the hose I got, we'll run it off the feed line straight into that gas can. Alrighty. So we got it just kind of hooked up, ran down there, and into there. It's not going very fast. Yeah, this might take a minute. Oh, and it stops too. Cool. I'm gonna see if I can just jump the fuel pump, see if that goes faster. Alright, so I kind of gave up on that. It was going pretty slow. I figured I'll just buy some fuel and put it in there. It was kind of the point of diminishing returns, so I said screw it. We're gonna go to Summit and buy some parts. Okay, so they didn't have one of the things I wanted to get. Really, though, the reason why I came here was to get my wife a Christmas present. They had it, so it is in the back seat. She probably won't watch this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna head back to the house. It's kind of busy. I had to grab a couple fuses and whatnot. Then we'll get back to the 98, or get to it. I haven't really started on it yet, so we'll get back to working on it. So it looks like I messed up and I should have worked on the truck before I went into town, because now it's raining and the ground's going to be soaking wet. Cool. Alright, I might have changed my mind. I don't really want to roll around in this. Yeah. Unless it clears up, but I don't think it's going to. So this is kind of a bummer. It's raining, as you guys can very well see. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and it was supposed to rain tomorrow, but it's raining today. But yeah, oh well. So as far as this guy goes, he is ready for the tune. I have new oxygen sensors for it. I'm not putting them in yet. I'll probably put them in the day I go there. And those ones will go back into the, or go into the 5.3 swap we got going on. The 5.3, you know, those 90s trucks have really heavy doors. So luckily I had these left over from my 92 I had. Never used them, but I figured I'm gonna redo the pins and the rollers in that truck, because it needs some freshening up. And I have all like the ball joints, tie rods and stuff for the front end. It's actually my brother's truck. It was going to get done when he had it, but then the engine blew and then it just sat, so it never got done. But yeah, so that's my plans for it, to freshen it all up, enjoy it for a little bit, and then probably sell it, and then get another one and maybe do it again. I don't know. But yeah, but the rain's kind of putting a damper on things. I think we will get into the green truck real quick, do the Q&A. I will answer everybody's questions. All right, I hope I'm in the frame good enough. Pull up my YouTube app, because on YouTube I also did a comment deal. You can ask a question. I only got one. So the question from Jorge's 2000 or George's 2000, I'm sorry dude. Either way, it says, any plans to swap out the wheels and tires on the 6.0? Yes and no. The wheels, no. I really like my wheels. They're 18s. Not a lot of people have 18s. I'm really fond of the 18s on 35s. So those will stay. However, tires, whenever I do get new ones, I'll probably get the Ridge Grapplers. I'll also be swapping over to a metric size though. These are 35 12.5s. So I think next set I get will be the 325 65 18s, which are like a 1/4 inch shorter, but they're like an inch wider. So now to Instagram. The first question I got was from 4x4 Rob. By the way, really like your channel. Also, I have a question. I want to install an NNBS intake with 8.1 injectors, but want to keep the stock fuel rails on my 2000 Silverado. What do you think is the easiest way to do that? I don't want to use the Corvette fuel filter regulator. So if you want to use your factory fuel rails, I kind of covered it in one of my last videos. Essentially, you have to cut the top of it off because it isn't long enough to sit down onto those 4 mounting tabs, because the intake is bigger. So you have to cut the rails apart, weld in AN bungs, and then add braided fuel line across the top. And then you have to run a spacer for the tabs and the injectors, because the spacing on the NBS intake manifold and the NNBS intake manifold are a little different. There's a couple write-ups on it. That would be the easiest way to do it if you don't want to use the Corvette fuel filter, because if you want to keep your return style fuel system, that's the way you're going to have to do it. I'll see if I can find a picture and put it up for you right now. Next is PMW.J_. What size lift kit do you have? Is the BDS 6.5 inch lift, and it is a true 6 inch lift. So on the Chevys, a lot of companies will claim that their lift kit is a 6 inch, but really it's a 4 inch that is just cranked up. And honestly, between all the companies out there, 4 and 6 inch kits are the same exact kits. The only difference is the 6 inch comes with the rear add-a-leaf. But the thing you want to look at for is the drop bracket on the front differential, how far they actually drop it down, because a lot of companies will only drop it 4 inches and you have to crank it to get the other 2, which will be 6 inches. But my truck is a 6.5. I have a lot more adjusting to do if I wanted to get it higher. I like where it sits, so I'm just leave it where it's at. Nothing_stock. What kind of chip you running? It is a Magnaflux Helicoil -2. Pretty hard to find. Ultimate_watercraft. Yeah, how you liking the 6.0? Do you notice a difference with the TBSS intake? How's the new regulator setup working? You know, I cannot speak to the intake yet because it has only sat in the driveway. I drove it to the gas station one time and I maybe gave it quarter throttle, so I cannot speak for that yet. The regulator seems to be working great. I've fired it up probably twice a week since I've got it going because I don't want it to just sit there, you know, and just drain the battery and whatnot. So I will let you know after the dyno and I can actually drive it how I like the intake. _kilogram66 traction bars. Yeah, I think so. I think I'll do traction bars. Rough Stuff Specialties. That is the company I bought my axle swap kit from for my 14 bolt. They make some pretty good stuff. The only thing I don't like about traction bars is you're adding weight, so I would not get like big fancy ones that are, you know, all blingy or whatever, and they're huge and you see them. I just like the simple DOM, you know, what is it, 1 inch or 1 1/4 tubing. So if I did it, that's what I would do. Mel_V_B_skating. Would it be worth it to port and polish stock heads in a TBSS intake with stock cam and valves? On a 5.3, probably not. The 5.3, the intake manifold is pretty well equipped to handle most things for it. On a 6 liter, I would say yes, if you did injectors with your intake swap, because even the stock injectors could be close to maxed out on a 6 liter with the tune. Mine was this stage 4 cam and the stock injectors, and they're maxed out. So now I got the 8.1s. We have the tune coming up the 18th of January, so we can really see how much power I can put down. But for a 5.3, I mean, it would definitely help. It depends on what is worth it to you. Some people say all that work and money and time is not worth the X amount of horsepower bump. For me, I will probably spend a little bit more to get a little bit of horsepower because I want to squeeze as much horsepower as I can out of it. That's just the type of guy I am. If you have the means to do it, it'd probably be worth it. It would definitely run better. Chewy has talked to me about porting his buddy's stock heads and intake, and he noticed a difference running. He said he was able to chirp from first to second, and he couldn't do that before. So worth it. That's up to you. Andrew Kearns, size, tires, and rims. I said that just a minute ago. They are 35/12.5s on 18/12s. My exhaust, he also commented exhaust. They are 1 7/8 Cooks full-length headers with the catless Cooks Y-pipe. It's a Flowmaster intermediate pipe, which is a 3-inch straight pipe, to a Borla XR1 Sportsman, I believe. It's the short one. It's not very long, and that is it. I would like to add some exhaust pipe after it, maybe an axle dump or just some pipe, you know, at least get it further away from the cab, because I like the way it sounds. It's just cruising around, it gets a little too loud. In high school, I would have really liked how loud it is, but now I kind of want it to be a little bit quieter. And that is all the questions that I got. If you want to participate in the next one, follow my Instagram. It is Endless Wishlist 6.0. I probably want to do them every video. I only post once a week at the moment, so it'd be kind of difficult, or not difficult, but impractical to do it every time. But I will be doing them more often if you guys would like. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.